Welcome back to LonelyMan PGs. In this video, you and I will take a look at Space Hulk Death Angel, a cooperative 1-to-6 player card game that takes anywhere between 15 minutes to an hour. But that depends on how quickly you are slaughtered. Space Hulk Death Angel is particularly relished in the solitaire community for its quick setup and play, as well as its brutality. You will play as a squad of Space Marines boarding the Space Hulk. On the Space Hulk, you will attempt to destroy forward launch control rooms in the midst of an extreme Gene Stealer infestation. The game lists a 44% chance of mission success, but you can trust that to be much lower for your first few games. Let's take a look at the components, which are few in number but important. These are the Space Marine cards. There are 12 Space Marines separated into 6 combat teams. The color of each Marine is representative of the team. Each Space Marine card gives the name of the Marine, shows their range, and also gives a description of that particular Marine. For example, Brother Valencio is part of the Red Combat Team and he has a range of 2 for attack. In addition, each card is reversible to show which way the Marine may be facing throughout the game. How many combat teams are used during play depends on how many players are enlisted. Each combat team also has 3 action cards. Each team can either use the support action, the move and activate action, or the attack action. In addition, each card has special information regarding the action below. For example, this card allows each Space Marine to spend 1 support token to make an attack. Let's take a look at the opposition. These are the Gene Stealer cards, used to represent hostile creatures that wish to tear the Space Marines apart. They will engage the Space Marines throughout play and overrun the Space Hulk if you lose. Each Gene Stealer has an icon in the corner showing their type. Depending on what happens throughout the game, different Gene Stealer types will move and flank the Space Marines. There are also 2 Broodlord cards, which are Gene Stealers on steroids used only in specific situations. These are the event cards. 1 event card is drawn each game round. These events can have traumatic or life-saving effects. Let's take a look at a couple of events. Gun Jam is an event card that prevents one of the combat teams from playing an attack action card in the coming round. Out of Thin Air is an event card that spawns 2 Gene Stealers behind a chosen Marine. The event cards also have Gene Stealer spawning and movement information at the bottom of the card. The bars represent what location the spawn will occur, and the triangular area represents either a major or a minor spawn. Let's take a look at this card as an example. The white triangles represent a minor spawn, so a minor spawn will occur at the locations with 3 orange bars and 4 red bars. The movement information on this card shows that Gene Stealers with this icon will move. These are the terrain cards that come into play as Space Marines move about the Space Hulk. Terrain cards may have effects and also list the likelihood that a spawn will occur at that position. For example, the door has a medium chance of spawns, but also has an effect. The ventilation duct, on the other hand, has 4 red bars, which indicates a high likelihood of spawns. What terrain cards are present and where they are located depends on location cards. These locations represent different places within the Space Hulk that Marines can travel to. Each location has different effects and terrains. Some of the location cards are destinations the Marines must reach in order to win the game. The core cogitator has an effect that reads, choose a terrain card. A maximum of 1 Gene Stealer may spawn on that terrain card during the next event phase. Let's look at some of the tokens. These are the support tokens. These represent aid that Marines can use to re-roll the die when either attacking or defending. These are combat team markers, which represents which team that player is using. They can also be used to show which action was used in the previous round, as the same action cannot be used twice in a row. Finally, this is the combat die, also known as the death die, because it will kill your Space Marines, and very often. Players will roll this die for attacking Gene Stealers, and Gene Stealers will also roll in order to attack the Space Marines. The more Gene Stealers at a certain position, the more likely the Space Marine will be slaughtered. This is how the game looks set up. The Space Marines form a single column with 3 facing to the left and 3 facing to the right. The location card at the top shows which terrains are placed and where along the column. The location card also has a green number on either side, which shows blip piles. These blip piles contain that number of Gene Stealers shown. Above the current location card are the future locations that the Space Marines will travel to. Alongside the play area, the team actions are placed in rows. Now, quick overview time. Space Marines will fight Gene Stealers from blip piles on the Space Hulk. While fighting, the Marines will try to activate certain terrains and move to the next location. If the Space Marines all die before claiming victory against the final location, the players lose. And that's about it for Space Hulk Death Angel. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. In the meantime, like the video and subscribe to see more future content.